Hi, my name is Yasmin Ajuz, and I am currently a student at Full Sail getting my film production master's. A little background about myself is that I went to Rollins for my undergrad and I got my degree in communications with a focus on public relations. As soon as I graduated, I started working in the PR industry and I realized it wasn't anything I was passionate about, let alone even cared about. So that's where Full Sail came in. I've always been interested in film and I hope that once I graduate from Full Sail, I will then further my career in becoming a film producer. This is a photo of me right after my college graduation. I had my degree in PR in hand and I was so stubborn on changing that. I didn't think I could ever go into film school. I thought it was too far-fetched and I was stuck in staying in the one box of skill I had. I did not think that I could use my undergrad skills of communication and PR to go along with film. I wanted to put this photo in here because Green mentions letting go of the past. And letting go of the past is when he was talking about Freddie Roach, who is the master I chose for this assignment. Let me state the obvious. I am clearly not a boxer, but his life journey and obstacles he faced connected a lot with mine. To refresh anyone's memory, Freddie Roach is an American boxer who followed in the footsteps of his father, who was also a boxer. Roach is widely regarded as one of the greatest boxing trainers of all time. I selected him because during his boxing career, he had a lot of ups and downs from when he started learning boxing until he discovered his passion for training. Green mentioned that when Freddie was being trained for boxing, everything seemed promising until he would get in the ring. His emotions would get the best of him and his fighting would turn into a brawl. I struggled a lot with having my emotions and doubts get the best of me. That is why it took me a while to make my decision to come to Full Sail. I had a lot of outside forces making me second guess what was truly making me happy. After years went by, Roach was advised to retire and he took a telemarketing job, and that's when he started to drink heavily. And after he started to drink heavily, he began to resent his passion for boxing because he felt like all his hard work brought him nowhere. When I took my first corporate job, I was miserable. I worked 8 to 10 hours a day in a cubicle with little to no human interaction. It made me go into a plateau of being comfortable and lazy. I played the victim and just figured it was too late to do anything about it. One day, Roach went back to the boxing ring where he used to box, and in that he picked up training other boxers. He immediately felt a spark in him again and started training more and more fighters. What Freddie Roach's overall story taught me is that during my journey, there will be a lot of ups and downs. I will make mistakes, and sometimes I will even fail at things. And I just have to keep telling myself that failure doesn't mean it has to end. I have to keep persevering through and know that eventually good will come from my passion. In Freddie Roach's story and Robert Greene's mastery, he mentions that we have to resist the temptation to feel sorry for ourselves if change is forced upon us. This relates to the first question I would ask him if I were to interview Freddie Roach. I would ask him how did he manage to break the cycle and get out of his rut and go back into boxing and training. The hardest thing for us to do is get out of our comfort zones. It's human nature for us to be fearful of change. The second interview question I would ask Roach is what in him changed when he went back into training other fighters for boxing. Did he have a better understanding of himself and the others around him? Green mentioned that it is so important for us as people to look outward rather than focus too much on our own feelings and emotions. And I do believe Roach had that similar realization when he went back to his boxing ring and found his passion for training fighters. The two deadly realities that are a risk to me the most are rigidity and flightliness. Rigidity is because I'm a creature of habit at times, and if I do get into a routine that works for me, it's difficult for me to try anything new. Green mentioned that people with rigidity get hooked onto a certain idea and hold on to it. I need to learn to become comfortable with trying new things, new methods in film, different styles of writing. It's dangerous for me to become too comfortable because that's when I stay stagnant, and masters are definitely not stagnant. Flightiness goes back to my emotions getting the best of me. Even when I would tell people that I wanted to go to film school, I got mixed reactions, and the negative reactions were always the ones that stuck with me. Green stated that if I focus on other people's opinions too much, it's wasting valuable mental space, and I believe him. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation.